Hey everybody, welcome back. I am bored. COVID made me bored, and today at the table, I'm taking a look at Sports Dice by, I think it's published by FunWiz. It says FunWiz here, and this is the hockey version. So there are, I believe, four flavors of Sports Dice. This one's hockey, there's baseball, football, and soccer. And they all work relatively the same way. This is a real time, I guess, real time dice rolling uh, game with a sports theme to it. And I picked hockey because, well, first of all, let me backtrack. I picked this game up because I was looking for something lightweight, fun dice rolling. I love dice rolling. There's no doubt about it. And I don't mind the randomness. I don't mind the luck of the dice roll, and sometimes I have good rolls, sometimes I have bad rolls, but I swing with it. I'm good with it. And I just thought something really quick, definitely something that my kids could play, and something that I just feel like, even an adult can play because it's kind of it's fun rolling dice. And I went with hockey because it's of the four sports that Sports Dice has, it was the one that appeals to me the most. I did watch a lot of NHL, hockey growing up. Second to that might be football, but not so much. And then the lesser of the two would be soccer and baseball. But the premise of all four of these games is about dice rolling, taking actions based on those dice rolls, and trying to score points and or goals to win the game, like a sport. And I'm going to go through this hockey version. I don't have any of the other ones, but it's a very good price point. It's not expensive at all, and it comes in a relatively small box. There's a very small rule book that comes with it, but if you look at it, it's the size of my hand. So it comes in a very small format, which is great. This is what I would consider a filler game, but it's only for two people, but that's fine. A filler game where you can go head to head with someone and see who the best person is at their luck. And you'll see that here it has just a handful of components. Again, also great for the filler game. The rule set is very light, but I did find that of the four, I found the hockey one to make not the most sense. It was a good balance of theme, like it feels like hockey without too complicated of a rule set. I actually found the one for football a bit more complicated. You're keeping track of downs. You're paying attention to the which yard line you're on. With hockey, it's really one end zone or the other or neutral zone. And soccer was kind of the same way. The baseball one comes with some meeples, I think, where you're moving across the board. But again, once you see this gameplay, you'll see that, oh yeah, you could definitely make a sports team out of it. So the rule book is very straightforward, and you'll be given a handful of components, mostly dice and a few tokens. And then there'll be some rules and a chart reference depending on your dice roll outcomes. And I'm just going to go through that in the sort of a playthrough. So in terms of the overall component quality, the dice, probably the star of the show. The hockey one comes with two sets of colored dice, blue and white, and six apiece. And they're nice and weighty. These are 19 millimeter dice, very similar to GI Joe Mission Critical, as well as another game that I have, The Reckoners. So they're nice and chunky, and they roll well. And you'll see that both sets of dice have identical symbols in the identical, I guess, proportions or distributions. So the typical distribution for the dice is the hockey face or the hockey stick with the puck. And there are three of those. One, two, three. You'll have this symbol, sort of the POW symbol, but this is actually a check symbol. You'll have the referee symbol, and you'll have just the single puck symbol, which is considered a pass. And when I do the playthrough or the roll, I'll explain how it works. Now, the one nice thing is that with the rule set, unlike I think the other ones, it's very straightforward. If you're on the offense, if you are past the halfway point of the playfield, into your opponent's, I guess, zone, then you are on the offense and the other player is on the defense, and vice versa if they end up in your zone. And depending for the other games, depending on which whether you're defense or offense, your roll results could mean different things. And I found that part kind of cumbersome because there can be moments there's a lot of back and forth. So then what you end up having to do is try to remember, okay, I'm on an offense, and what do these roll means again? What does this roll mean again? What does this face mean again? But hockey is very straightforward. It's pretty much the same for all of it. So if whether you're defense, oh, this is the French version, sorry. Whether you're offense or defense, there's minimal change, and you'll see here it's straight across, so it's exactly the same for both. And there's only one difference when it comes to just the puck symbol. So the other component it comes with is the goalie dice, which is unique, obviously, to this particular version because it's hockey, and this is the dice that could potentially save you from getting a goal scored on you. And I think this is really neat. So there's the goalie dice, and you're also going to have a handful of components for keeping track of things. But of course, where's the board? Well, the board is right here. Here is your rink, and you'll see at the top, this is how you're going to keep track of the score. You'll see the different areas, your opponent's end zone, as well as the neutral zone that they have here. You'll have the number of shots and the period tracking. So the way the game flows in terms of progression is once you have reached 5 shots, so not 5 goals, but 5 shots on net, regardless of who's done the shot, you will then end the period and then move the period counter over 1. If by chance, by the end of the third period, it's a tie or no goal has been scored, then you would move into overtime, in which case, during the overtime period, you'll also have 5 shots, not 5 shots, but you'll have a maximum of 5 shot attempts before you move into shootout. But during that overtime period, the first person to score a goal wins the game. And if you get through overtime with going through 5 shots, but no one scores, then you would go into a shootout, which would be exactly as hockey would be. You'd each take 1 turn apiece until one person has scored 1 extra goal, until someone scores 1 goal more than the other. So you'll notice that there are markings on the particular zones, and each line here is a segment, and this is how you'll be moving your puck between one end to the other. And depending on where your puck is, you can have a potential bonus effect to your shot when you choose or decide to take a shot on goal, and I'll explain that in a minute. So there's your rink, very small. Again, it's the same size as the box. You'll have a token to keep track of the period. You'll have a token to keep track of the number of shots you've taken. You'll have 1 white and 1 blue token representing each team to keep track of the score. You'll have your puck, which would be in the middle, and it always starts the period in the middle. And you'll have the power chip or the power token. It each has 1 color on each side representing each team. And at the beginning of the very beginning of the game, you'll flip it to determine who goes first, and also who will hold possession of this power chip. Now, the power chip plays an important role when it comes to 2 things: tiebreakers. So if you have if you've rolled and you actually have, I guess, tied in your roll, and I'll show you what that means, then the person who holds the chip can use this to break the tie. And after they do that, they would then hand it off to their opponent, and now they have the chip. So you don't get to hold the chip the whole time. Each time you use it, you then have sort of used or exhausted your use of the power chip, and you must give it to your opponent to use, and for them to use it. And it'll flip back and forth during the course of the game. You can also use this. There are advanced rules, which I would recommend. The rule set's already pretty straightforward as it is. You might as well use the advanced rule, which is you can also use this to do 1 single reroll if you choose to reroll of your dice. In this game, each I guess round is 1 roll of dice, and then you determine the outcome of the dice. If you're not happy with it, whoever's in possession of the power chip can re-roll that dice. Now, there is no specific rules in terms of using the power chip if you so happen to have it and your opponent is taking a shot on you. with your goalie dice, there's no specific rule saying that you can't use your power chip to also re-roll the goalie dice if you choose to. So that's another sort of extra layer to the advanced rules that you can use if you want to do that. So I'm going to just quickly show you how it plays through. Like I said, this is a filler game, and it's fun because it's dice, and I love dice. So in this situation, we've got the board set up. We're going to put all our tokens for our players or our scorekeeping off to the side. We haven't taken a shot yet, so this one will be off to the side. The puck is in the middle. We're in period 1. And what will happen is I'll be rolling, or each player will be rolling their dice. And player number 2 will roll their dice all at the same time. Once you've done a single roll, whoever has the power chip as an advanced rule can have the option to say, hey, I want to re-roll, so you give up the chip and you could re-roll. But I'm not going to, because I'm going to show you the playthrough. Once you've done your initial roll, each player will tally the total number of identical symbols that they have. So in this case, I have 4 of the sticks, and sticks and puck, and my opponent or my left side has just 3. That's the maximum number or the highest number of matching symbols. So once you've done that, then you'll look at each other, and whoever has the most of their matching symbol, that is the action. They win the action. So in this case, the blue team has 4, which is more than the white team's 3. In this situation, the blue team gets to take their action. And what's that action? Well, if you manage to win the action and it's all of the stick and the puck, you get to move the puck forward 1 space, and it's divided into these spaces as I was showing you, 1 space forward to your opponent's end zone. And then if you happen to roll this, and that's your majority, that action means that you would be able to move it 2 spaces forward. If you rolled a majority and it was this, and you won the action, so let's just say it was all these, this is considered the check symbol. So what you do is you have an opportunity to do a one-time reroll of that dice, and then you would ignore anything that your opponent has, and you would take whatever final result that you would get out of that. So in this case, I have 3 of the hockey, the sticks, which means I would move it to my opponent's end 1 space. If you roll a majority and you win the action of the referee, that means your opponent loses 1 dice from their rolling pool until the next shot or goal has been taken. So you could potentially end up, stripping away multiple dice from your opponent if you're lucky in your rolls to do, if you get that particular referee symbol. Now, what happens if I rolled a tie? So let's just say I rolled this. This is a good example. So my highest number of matching symbols for the blue team are the 3 sticks, and for the white team also 3 sticks. Well, this is a tiebreaker. So it's a tie. So in this case, the blue team has the power chip, and he has an option. He can either use it to win the tiebreak, which means that he gets to take his action of moving this puck forward, or he can forfeit. He can say, you know what, I'm going to hold on to the power chip. I don't want to use it, which means that his opponent wins that action draw and gets to move it 1 space towards the blue team's end zone. And this also works in any tiebreak situation. Whoever holds the power chip chooses whether or not they want to use it to break the tie in their favor. Once you've done that and you've resolved it, then you would roll again. And again, once again, each player would look at their total number of matching symbols. In this case, we've got a mix here. Now let's just say the mix was, let's say this. And let's just say it was the white team. So I've got a mix here of symbols. Now for the blue team, his highest number of matching symbols would be actually these 2. And you'll see that the white team has 3 sets. So this is considered a tie break, and it would be the white team to say, hey, do you want to use the power chip to break the tie in your favor? Let's just say he chooses not to, which means the blue team wins the action. And because they've had a tie between their sets of actions, they can choose. So obviously with the checks, they would re-roll it. And if whatever result you get is whatever you get, and then you would then choose whatever is remaining out of your pool to use. But let's just say it was this, and actually, you know what? A better example is this one. Let's just use this. That's a better example, okay? So if the white team chooses not to break the tiebreaker in their favor, that means the blue team gets to take their action. And then that blue team, because they have a tie here, they get to choose. They can either move the puck one space forward towards the white team, or they can choose to use this one, and the white team takes a penalty and loses one die until the next shot or goal is scored. So in this situation, I'm going to just do another reroll, and we'll start fresh so I can show you. So we're going to take a look, and we've got the 3 from the white team. That's their highest. And over here, we have penalty, the referee, and the blue team has the power chip, so they're going to use it. So they're going to break the tiebreaker in their favor, which means the white team loses 1 dice until the next goal or shot is taken. So the puck stays in the middle, and then you continue to reroll, or continue to roll. So we've got the white team has 3 sticks. The blue team has 4 sticks, which means they win the action, and that action is to move the puck 1 space forward to the white team's goal. Then we'll roll. And let's see here. We've got the referee again, and the white team doesn't have anything. So the red team wins the action, and their action is to take yet another dice away. So the one thing I want to mention is that there is a very strong sense of theme. The more I start to play it, the more I start to see, yeah, this really does in a way feel like hockey. It's going back and forth. Someone that has possession of the puck, everyone's coming for them. Someone's coming for them. They're trying to pass it off. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth, which is very representative of your dice rolls. One moment, the blue team may have possession and move the puck. The next moment, the white team might win the draw or win the action, and they take possession of the puck and move it the other way. So there is this back and forth, which is a good and bad thing. The good thing is that it feels like hockey. The bad thing is that depending on the roll outcome, you could potentially be stuck in this sort of sweet spot of moving the puck back and forth and never having an opportunity to take a shot on net, which I'll explain hopefully in a rule very soon. So in this situation, there was a penalty, and then after that action is resolved, we continue rolling, and you'll see now that obviously the blue team will have an advantage because they have more dice to take, so they'll be able to move it. Now that he's been able to move it, the blue team's been able to move it into the white team's end zone, you'll see that there's a -1, nothing here, and a +1. This is a bonus if you choose to take a shot. So I've moved into the white team's zone, and the next roll, okay, so the next roll I get 5 of my hockey sticks, and obviously I win the action on this round. And at this point, I have a choice. Because I'm in the white team's zone, I have a choice to take a shot. I can take a shot if my puck is here, my puck is here, or my puck is here. If I roll the majority and I win the action of the hockey stick, I can choose to take a shot. And what does that mean? Well, let's move the puck back here. If I choose to take a shot and my puck is located at this end, I'm further away. The chances of getting a goal is less likely. Sort of thematic, you'll always see the puck try to get moved closer to the net for a higher chance, a higher success rate to get that goal in. But for the sake of an example, I'm going to use this. So I say, I'm not going to move the puck forward. The blue team has won the roll and wins the action, but instead of moving the puck forward, I forfeit that because I'm in the white team zone. I forfeit that to call a shot on goal. And once I do that, I'm going to roll all my dice, whatever dice is available to me, and I'm going to count up the number of white hockey sticks that I have, and I will take in consideration any bonus or hindrance while I'm in the zone. And in this case, because I'm in the furthest away from the net, I get a -1, which means it's 0. So this is a bad example, but let's just say I rolled 3. So let's say if I take a shot on goal, I roll 3. So I have a 3 and then -1, which means I actually have 2. What does that mean then? Well, that means that is your chance of success against the goalie. and then the opponent would then take the goalie die and they would roll it. If the result of this roll is less than the opponent's number of sticks, then it's a successful goal. If it's higher, then the goal is blocked. If it's the hockey mask, it's automatically blocked because this would be it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on 5, 6. So this is technically the sixth face of the die. So that's an automatic block. If you tied, if let's just say I rolled a 2, and you tied, this is a tiebreaker. This is where whoever's holding the power chip would use the chip in their favor. So in this case, I would say, hey, I'm going to break the tie by using it, and no goal is scored. So let's just say we rolled 3. It's -1 because we're in that zone, so I'll roll the dice, and it's a 5. So it's a successful block. The goalie saves the shot, and that's it. Now let's just say I was in this middle zone, and I took the shot. So I declare a shot on goal, and I get, oh, this is a bad example. Here we go, 2. So I get 2. 2 plus nothing in the middle because there's no bonus. It's sort of neutral. I roll the dice. I get another 5, which means the goalie saves the shot. So no goal is scored. If I moved here, or if my puck so happened to be in this zone, and I rolled this, oh, here I get 4 plus 1 because that's the benefit of being so close to the net. That's 5. And it's a 2. I rolled a 2. The white team rolled a 2. Their goalie could not save the goal. Sorry, could not save the shot, and therefore a successful goal. And then we would take the blue team's marker to indicate that they have got 1 goal against their white team opponent. And then we would show that we've taken 1 shot, and then move the puck back into the center, and then play starts all over. Now, once a shot is taken, even if it wasn't successful, or a goal has been scored, then whoever had penalties before, which was the white team, they would gain all their dice back, ready for the next round. One of the things that I didn't show was if you get this symbol, the green puck symbol, this action means that you can move your puck towards your opponent's zone 2 spaces. So 1, 2. Now let's just say I was right here. Let's just say blue team's right here. We rolled it and we got the 3 pucks, and my opponent, the best that they could do was this. So obviously blue team wins the action, and the action that they take is to move the puck 2 spaces forward. Now, if I'm here and I'm moving it 2 spaces forward, well, I can only move it 1 space. If that's the situation, you're allowed to move it and then take a shot on goal. If I was up here in the furthest point of that white team's end zone, I move it 2, 1, 2, and that's it. No effect. The action has been taken. But if I was in the mid part here and I moved 2, and it would, as a result of that second move in, would take me into the goal, I can then automatically declare a shot on goal without having to wait to the next turn. So I would take a shot on goal. And in this situation, you'll see I get nothing. I have no white sticks. So I get the +1, which is a 1. The white team would roll their die and get a 4 and block and stop the shot. So having said that, I'm going to go through a couple quick rounds, and you'll keep track of the shots that are taken until you got to the point where you're either at the end of the 3rd period and you have a winner, or you progress into overtime and see if there's a winner. If not, a shootout and see if there's a winner. So here you'll see that the majority of actions I have is for the white team. They win the draw, so they get to move it 1 space. So I'm just going to clear this board here. And we didn't take a shot yet. I'm just starting fresh. So in this situation, it's going to move back. Here we've got the white team with the majority, and the blue team takes a penalty. Here we have the white team moving 1 space forward. Oh, we have the blue team moving 1 space forward back. And moving 1 space forward. So they're shorthanded, but they're still getting to move it forward. Oh, get to move it forward again. Now, I could have taken a shot on goal, but because I'm short 1 dice, or one die and -1 because I'm on this section of the white team zone, it would not be to my advantage to try that. So I'll take my chances and I'll move it forward 1. Okay, and the white team's gonna move it back. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so here's a tie. So we've got 4 on each side. It is a tie. So the white team will do their tiebreaker and take it in their advantage to move it forward. Now, when you're in the neutral zone, you cannot declare a shot. You can only declare a shot once you are actually in your opponent's end zone. So we're going to roll again. We're going to move over here. We got the majority on the white side. It moves over. Okay, so the white team rolled all check symbols for 4, and they win the majority, which means that they get the action, so they get to re-roll this once, and they have the 4 sticks. So even if I was short, let's just say I was short this one and this one, I would then look to these 2 sticks as my action. Now, even though this is less than, let's say if I had this, it's not another tiebreaker. When you re-roll the check symbols, because you have won the action, whatever the result is what the white team or what that player gets to use, ignoring the results, the previous results of the opponent. So he's going to get, the white team gets to move it forward 1. And here we have the white team moving in again. And we're going to do a roll. And let's see. Okay, so we have a tie. So 2 actions, 2 possible actions from the white team and 1 for the blue team, but the blue team has a power chip, and of course they're going to use it, which means that they win the tiebreak and they get to move it back 1 space. The white team gets to move it in. Oops, I forgot to roll that one. And let's see. Oh, the blue team gets to move it back out. So as you can see, there can be a lot of back and forth. Okay, so the white team gets the majority here. So they get to win the action. And that action is they can move it forward 1 more space, or they can declare a shot on goal, and they're going to declare a shot on goal. So they're going to roll the dice. And they get 1, 2, 3. There's no advantage for having the puck in the middle of that zone. So the blue team will roll their goalie die. The shot is taken. And so it's a tie, in which case the white team has the power chip, and therefore they can use it to break that tie, which means it's a score. White team gets 1, and 1 shot has been taken. So as you're progressing and keeping track, another shot might be taken. A goal might be scored because the shot was taken. And you'll be moving forward until you get to the 5th, in which case you reset and move up the period. Now, let's just say during one of your rolls, you get all 6 white hockey sticks. If this happens, no matter where your puck is, for some reason, the goalie was sleeping, didn't know what was going on, wasn't paying attention, and that's an automatic goal. No matter where your puck is, if you roll all 6 dice with the same white hockey stick face, not white hockey stick, but just the same hockey stick face, because this side's blue, it's an automatic goal. So that last goal scored by the white team, the shot counter goes up 1, period's the same, we recorded the goal, and the puck goes back into center ice, and you begin the next round, which is, we have a tie here again. We have a tie, which means the blue team will use their power chip and move it forward 1. And here, the white team wins the majority and their action, which means they move it back over. And back over 1. And let's see. Oh, we've got a tie. So the tie here is between the hockey sticks and the referees. The white team will use a power chip to win that tiebreaker. And then we continue. And here we've got another tiebreaker. The blue team will use that to move it forward back out of their zone. And we've got another tiebreaker here, which the white team will use to move it back in. They could have taken a shot on goal, but probably not a good idea. And we've got it moving back this way with the blue team possession. And here we have another tie. So the blue team will use their tiebreaker, their power chip, to move the tiebreak and move it out of the zone. Neutral territory. And we have the blue team with the 5 majority issuing a penalty to the white team, and they lose a dice for their next until the next shot is taken or score is taken. So the blue team gets to take that action. And we have a tiebreaker. We have a tie here. So the white team will use their power chip, and because it's the green or it's the puck face, we get to move it 2 spaces towards the blue team zone. And we have another tiebreaker here, which the blue team will move out. We've got another move over here. Another move over here. So once you learn the symbols, you'll be able to quickly identify what you need to do. Oh, we've got a check over here, so we'll re-roll. Ignoring all these results, we get to move back this way. But once you get to see the symbols and recognize what to do, it's very, very, it can be very quick. You're moving back and forth, trying to get yourself into a position where you're able to potentially take a shot on goal, or if you're lucky enough to issue a penalty to your opponent. In this situation, we have a tie. We have multiple ties here. So the white team has a power chip. They get to use it. They're going to re-roll their check dice. And here, we get to choose one of the two because this is the majority for the number of symbols. And we choose to issue a penalty. So blue team loses a dice until the next score or shot has been taken. You'll see here, blue team's got the majority, and they decide to take a shot on goal. So I have only 5 dice because my other dice has been tied up due to the penalty. I'm going to roll, and I get no bonus for being in the middle section of that zone. So I have 4 hockey sticks. The white team is going to roll. Goalie hopefully stops it, and it's a tie. It's another tie, which means that the blue team, because they have possession of the power chip, can decide the outcome of the tie, break the tie in their favor to score a goal. Right there. So that's the second shot that's been taken. We record that the blue team has taken a goal, so it's 1-1, and the puck goes back to center ice to reset for the next round. So that's pretty much it. That, in a nutshell, is sports dice hockey. And as you can see, hopefully even with the last, 15 minutes, you can see that it's very random, but it's very quick. Back and forth, real time. It's real time rolling. There's no real downtime. You're rolling and rolling, looking for matching symbols to see who gets to take their action. And depending on that action, you have several actions that can happen. You can, issue a penalty. You can move the puck forward 1 space or potentially 2 spaces. Or if you're in the right position, you can declare a shot on goal. But not even that. Even if you declare a shot on goal, the opponent still has a chance to hopefully block and stop that goal from happening, which I think is really great. I really like the concept of this goalie die. Now, the other one I was looking at that was remotely similar was soccer, and it had very similar movement, except the difference was no matter where you're on the field, you can take a shot. And you would roll, and instead of the hockey sticks, I think they're feet. So instead of that, you would count up both players. If one player is taking a shot, so let's say you're on the offense and you take a shot, you'd roll the dice. Offense would count the number of feet symbol that they have, and then the defender would count the number of feet symbol that they have. Whoever has the most, if it's the attacker, they would get the goal. If it was the defender, they would block the goal. I didn't really like that. I felt that was kind of, it's pretty much the same as using this, but I think thematically, for me, it just didn't work like that. I mean, there is a goalie in soccer too, so why not have a goalie dice as well? Because to me, that makes more sense. So in any case, for me, the components, dice for actions for your players. You've got the tokens to track the various shots that are taken. The period is dictated by a maximum of 5 shots taken in the round. And then you've got the goalie die to represent your goalie's opportunity to hopefully save the team. And then having the power chip as your tiebreaker. And I didn't use it during my gameplay, but you could potentially use that to say, hey, I rolled this one. Okay, let's say we did a roll. Well, let's say I rolled a worse roll than that. Well, I'm not too happy with this roll. I want to use my power chip to re-roll these dice because I want to try to get I'm trying to want to get some movement here. Well, did I win the majority? Yes, I did. So I get to move. So I like that. I like that you can use it for this. Or, let's just say the white team declares a shot on goal, and they get, here's an automatic goal, right? Let's say declares a shot on goal with 5 in the neutral area here. So the blue team rolls. Oh, they get a 1. Oh no, I'm gonna use my power chip and try my chances again. And I get a 3. I still didn't get it. But imagine if I landed the goalie mask and I stopped that goal. How exciting would that be? The white team has worked their way up to a great position in the blue team zone, and the goalie comes down and stops it. So I think it's very thematic. It's fast paced. I think the only thing would be my concern would be sort of the going back and forth. And again, you could potentially end up being trapped in sort of this sweet spot where depending on dice rolls, you really don't get a chance to go in here. And maybe you're getting to the point where you're desperate and you're saying, you know what, I'm willing to take that chance. I'm going to take that shot, even though I get -1 penalty for being sort of a -1 to my number of success attempts for the hockey sticks. So it's -1. So instead of 5, it's 4. I'll take that chance. Or you might luck out and get all 6 of the same hockey stick faces and get an automatic goal. It can be exciting. I think that this is a good representation of hockey in a dice format with very straightforward rules, and I think anyone can have a good time. And for me, this is a filler. Because it doesn't take much time. It takes maybe 15-20 minutes tops to get through, and then you can do some house ruling. Maybe instead of 5 shots to change the period, just change it to 3 shots. You can move it along a little faster if you want a quicker game. And then you can do other, like the power chip house ruling for if you want to make it a little bit more advanced or a little bit more thematic. So I think that's really great. And I think for the price point, also very great. As a filler game, it meets that niche, and it makes it a fun experience and very thematic in terms of its representation of hockey. So there you go. That's Sports Dice Hockey, one sport of the 4 sports series in the FunWiz lineup. And if it looks interesting to you, there are some other videos out there, I'm sure, for the other versions. And the consensus is it's fun. It's lightweight and fun, and it achieves exactly what it's supposed to achieve. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, stay bored.